We good. I suppose the phone, the service on it. Okay. God and everything good. Shalom, Mark. And I'm about to Shalom, Mark. Shabbat Shalom.
Yes, Shabbat Shalom. All right, Shalom, Maki. First and foremost, going to start by giving infinite honors and praises to Yahweh,
Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Harakakazah.
Shabbat Shalom. Right? And giving double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone who rule and teach world peace and blessings to those who are faithful elect across the four corners, living and preaching this truth to the best of their ability and sincerity. And again, Shalom. Right? As you know, we were living in the time of prophecy, a lot going on, a lot about to happen. Right, we're about to enter into basically Jacob's trouble, man. A lot of shit going down, man. All right, so without further ado, we're gonna open up with something that's straight to the point.
Right. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie.
Right, and we're at the end right now. We're in the latter days right now. Right? That's why you see all the prophecies of the book taking place. Right? You're seeing it right in front of your face. But I say inarguable, inevitable. You can't disprove it. Right? This is just happening right in front of you. Right? Got it.
Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry.
Right? But it's not going to tarry anymore. Right? So when you see these things come to pass, right, you're just going to keep it. It's going to do what you call a snowball effect. Man. Right? One thing going to turn into this thing. This problem going to turn into that problem. It's just going to get worse and worse. Right? Like the scripture says, an arrow is sent. Who can turn it back? Plagues are sent. Who can return them thither, man? Right? It's up there and it's stuck there now, man. Right? Get that?
Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not up in him, but the just. So but the just shall live by his faith.
Right? Who's that talking about? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. His soul that is lifted up and not upright in him. Right? That's why we're in the situation that we're in right now, even from the beginning. Right? This all started and now it's about to end. Right? We're entering into that point where we're shit about to make full circle. The cycle's complete, man. Right? You got the advantage over us in the garden, right? Through Eve, right? But now we're about to shake back, right?
See, it says over again. I mean, everybody had a piece of Israel, man. From the Hamites to the fucking Israelites, the Moabites, all the way down to the fucking Edomites, man. You know what I mean? And Esau just did the most when it came to. So all you motherfuckers have had your share of Israel's ass, man. Okay? You know, everything been all in the stomach, all in the neck, you know, everything right about the harlot called Israel. Okay? So-called Israel, because like I say, all Israel is not Israel, man. All right? The hopeful elect is Israel in the eyes of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Let me finish your point. Okay? Like you say, it's going to tie right into it. All right? So it says, verse 5, Habakkuk 2 and 5. It says, yeah, also, because he, the so-called white man, Esau, transgressive by wine.
His philosophy, the things he teaches, the way he lives, man. That's what that wine is, right? That westernized way, right? The so-called white man's way is how people follow after.
But where does wine come from?
Right? the vine, basically a tree, man.
Trees. Fruit. Wine comes from fruit, right? Fruit grows on trees. Vegetables grow on the ground. Fruit grows on trees, right? So wine is a product of a tree. Okay? So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Wine is a product of a tree. If you're talking about the process of from where the fruit comes from all the way down to it, okay? Where there's no tree, there's no wine, right? But anyway, so you sound that? Yeah, I'm gonna keep going with you. All right, verse 5 it says, yeah, also transgressive by wine. So that means that particular tree is producing some bad wine.
Producing some potent shit right there.
The shit good, though.
That's a drug.
You know what I'm saying? It tastes good. I'm saying the shit tastes good, and it got a high level of alcohol in it, but it has a lot of what impurities. is drenched in impurities, man. It's drenched in confusion. It's drenched in oblivion and all of that. All right. Let me just finish it. So it says, he is a proud man, keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as debt, and cannot be satisfied. But unto him all nations, and people unto him all people.
Got a whole forest growing along with him, man. That forest, the trees producing the same type of wine. Like I think the same shit you saw on right now. I got one back literally backing up right now. It's Psalms 30, real quick. Psalms 37 and 35. I have seen the wicked in great power, like which we see right now, and spreading himself like a green bay tree.
Now, it's all what symbolism. Okay. Now we said we was the video we did the day before yesterday, man. We were going into the trees, going back to the book of Genesis. Okay. And it's about Adam and Eve being in the garden, eastward in Eden, and it talks about the different trees, whereas the Lord said, you eat of these trees, and this particular tree, don't eat of that particular tree, right? Well, guess what? This is that tree. This is that tree the Lord warned his people from the beginning to not eat from. And every time, what did the Lord do? Disobey him. And have to do what? Learn the hard way. Root of the fucking problem. Okay, go ahead.
Got that Genesis.
Shit, I mean, we can go there. I just ain't want to overload you. I know you bring out a precept.
No,
or whatever like that. Okay, yeah.
It's Genesis 2, outside of verse 8. So Genesis 2 and 8, and it says in Elohim planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed, and out of the ground made.
Yeah, man, because guess what? The Elohim formed man. Basically, they created man. All right. Whatever terminology you want to use, genetically modified, whatever scientific term, we know science took place. Okay, we're not finna get all scientific and all that bullshit because the Bible don't get all of the details on the schematics of how the Lord did it. All we know is the story, how the story goes. We could break the story down, but when you get into trying to
actual science,
the science behind it, come on, man, it's philosophizing.
You say some shit you guessing.
Okay, so whatever scientific method the Elohim used to make man, you know, and all of that from a planet, whereas these biological creatures, you know, the whole little rundown. I don't even know how to use the terminology. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even trying to sound like I'm on no scientific fucking level and all that shit. All we do is break the Bible down, and we prophets of the Lord. That's it. Okay? All we can do, our skill is to simplify the Lord's word so that they can get it. That's it. That's our job. Okay? Go ahead, brother.
Verse 9, and it says, and out of the ground made the Elohim to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden.
So that's how we know that these trees, which I said in the last video, these were nations. Okay? These were different nations and kingdoms of people. I'm about to get a scripture right for the bag it up. All right, this is Ezekiel. Where you at?
It's Genesis 2 and 9.
This is Ezekiel chapter 31. And I'm gonna start at 5 to show you nothing has changed, man. Okay. The Lord have always identified nations and kindreds of people as trees, man. So because he's talking about trees, doesn't mean he's talking about fucking fig trees, cedar trees, cypress, cypress, magnolia, and all that shit, man. Okay, we just opened up in the book of Habakkuk and told you how the so-called white man transgressed by what? Wine. And we broke down the whole process of how you even get the fruit that you use to make wine. The fruit grows on the trees. Okay, but anyway, Ezekiel 31 and straight to the point, the point that the brother made. Okay, Ezekiel 31 and 5, it says, therefore, Salaki, All right. Ezekiel 31:3. It says, behold, the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon with fair branches. Huh?
A cedar in Lebanon.
So you telling me the Assyrians was an actual cedar tree? Or are we supposed to have spiritual intelligence or spiritual discernment? You're supposed to be able to spiritually discern what's going on, man. Just like a mountain and these hills, these are nations. These fucking trees are nations. The waters are people. You know what I'm saying? All right. So it says, behold, the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon with fair branches and with a shadowing shroud and of an high statue, and his top was among the thick boughs or whatever. So it just means that this was an exalted nation. But the Lord is symbolically talking about a tree, well, using a tree, an exalted tree, to describe the Assyrians. Okay? Well, when you go back in the book of Genesis, that's the exact same thing that is going on.
Same thing.
Okay? And the precept the brother bring it out. Exact same thing. Go ahead. Huh?
Yeah, I said that great bay tree is, wicked, exhausting stuff. Is that great bay tree? There you go, right there. God, right? It says Genesis 2:9 from the middle. Right? It says the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
And guess what, man? In this case, who tempted Adam and Eve? Well, Adam and Eve would just say it that way. So who was this particular tree of the knowledge of good and evil? Okay, I'm gonna hold on to that. I'm gonna show you. Right this here. All right. All right, this second Ezra, chapter 4 and verse 30. It says, for the grain of evil seed have been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning. Well, who did the Lord use to sow this grain of evil in the heart of Adam? The brother's reading it. This was a particular nation that was exalted in a wicked way. Okay, to the point that they were knowledgeable that Adam was blessed of the Lord, that he was the top guy.
Yeah, to know something, bro.
You see what I'm saying? And they, whatever Adam had, look, so this is speaking as men, whatever Adam had, just like that's. Look at you Israelites. When you Israelites was at the top, I'm talking about after the flood. We was at the top without them. The enemies. Let me get that. But why the enemies come? Because you turning your back on the Lord. When the Lord saved you out of captivity, this is what Israel has always been repetitively doing over and over again. And that's why the Lord put this vigorous slavery on us over here in America. Okay, Israel is on the top. What happens? Y'all get nice. Y'all get complacent. The Lord command y'all to go and kill the enemy. You let the motherfuckers live. The Lord command you not to worship their gods and keep their customs. You become one with the fucking enemy, right? You just want to be nice, have a big heart, whatever you got there, get along, whatever you got there. And what happens? The enemy get a stronghold on your stupid ass, crush you. Now you crying to the Lord to save you. The Lord like, nah, I don't even talk. I ain't got shit to say to you because I told you hard-headed motherfuckers, man. How many times did I have to send my prophets out there to tell you knucklehead motherfuckers the same shit over and over again? So no, call on Esau. I don't want to hear this shit no motherfucking more. You know? Go ahead.
It's Genesis 3. Genesis 3 from the top. It said, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
That's right, man. And look at the so-called white man.
He moves, bro. He moves like a snake, like
subtle.
Subtle.
Okay? It was more subtle than any other beast. Esau is the most slithering animal on the earth, man. Think about it. Okay? The scripture says he transgressed by what? Wine. Eve transgressed by what? Wine. Whose wine? The tree of life of the tree, well, not the tree of life, so like it. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil. All that mean that this particular nation, right, tempted Adam and Eve to go off. That's all it's saying. All that would have bullshit. Ain't that the shit? It became a seducing spirit.
Yeah. Tickles your ear, right?
Ain't that how Esau do? Oh man,
what we do with this?
Esau to this day he fucking do it. He wasn't calling himself Esau back then, but the same spirit that embodies the so-called white man, that is that same entity that embodied this particular nation, right? The sons of the wicked is what we would say. Okay, so these same fucking people, but we'll finish it off out. Get to the point right.
It said was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord, which the Elohim had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, the Elohim said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden.
So that goes to show you that even back then, this particular nation, that Esau played prior to being Esau, we'll just say that. Okay, they was on some. They was on some levels. They was on some. They say they were more subtle. To be subtle, you got to be smart. You got to be. Come on now.
Point, bro. You
know what I'm saying? And that's what the Lord set them up to be. That's how we know, man. This thing was all set up by design from the beginning. Yahweh made that particular group of people, that nation of people that deceived Adam and Eve, more subtle than everybody. Yahweh made that so that the story can be exactly what's prophesied to happen. So they had to be on some high level wicked shit. I'm talking about this particular nation that deceived Adam and Eve. So them to be watching Adam like that and be
on that type of
to know how to outwit them and get them out their fucking position.
What they hit them at, anger to hit them right.
And to this motherfucking day, we are suffering because of that shit, man. Then let's just say if Adam never did that, we always be like, what if? Had Adam never did that, we would have been the gods. Yeah. Period. We'd have been on to some other shit. The earth would have been old news, man. We like what the Lord said in my father's house are many mansions. Man, we'll be living on the many mansions. We'd have been populated all the many mansions had we never went off. You know? So we've had a dramatic setback, man, for being hard-headed. How long you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans gonna continue to fucking be hard-headed? Okay? But Esau capitalizing on your fucking ignorance, man. Yeah, go ahead.
I have to wait with you right now. It says, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden.
So it's telling them like, yeah, we could go and dib and dab and all of this with this nation and all of that trade, commerce, marry this nation and such, and whatever comes with nations and kindreds of people, man. Just a common everyday type of affairs that happen between different groups of nations of people. There's certain groups that the Lord commanded deal with, certain groups not to fucking deal with. Stay away from these wicked motherfuckers. That's what the Lord basically, Elohim was telling Yahweh was telling Adam and Eve at the time, man. You know, look, y'all stay away from the because this is what's gonna happen. Even though the Lord already knew how it was gonna play out. Just like when you go to Saul wicked ass, when the Lord told Saul to go and slay all them Edomites, right? The Lord knew Saul wasn't gonna fucking listen. The Lord knew Saul wasn't gonna fucking listen, man. But for the sake of prophecy, right? The story happened exactly as it was written. It was written for Saul to go against the Lord. So he had to be put in a position to go against the Lord.
Right? Shit. Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, brother.
It says, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden.
Right, and that fruit of the tree that's in the midst of the garden, the one that the Lord told you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to stay the fuck away from, that fruit, let me show you what that fruit helped produce. I'm going to read it again in case y'all missed it. I'm going to go to that Habakkuk, what is that word? 2? 2 and 2 and 3. Yeah, get that. This is the result of that fucking fruit. This is why the Lord told y'all as it, man. All right, Habakkuk 2 and 3. It says, Salakia, no. Habakkuk 2 and 5, it says, yeah, also, because he, the so-called white man, this is what the Lord was telling Adam and Eve. But this is what the Lord was telling Adam. The Lord was talking to Adam. Let me make that clear. The Lord was telling this to Adam. And it was on Adam to tell Eve, you know, what to fucking do, man. Okay? Which we're gonna go into the whole little shebang with Adam, man. We live this every day. We go through it every day. Reality. That whole reality Adam was in is our reality that we're in today because of the result of what he did.
What it is.
Okay. But anyway, it says, Habakkuk 2 and 5, yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine. That's why the Lord told you to stay away from that fucking tree, because you was gonna get drunk. That's why he didn't want you eating fruit from that fucking tree, because you were gonna get drunk. And that's exactly what happened to Adam and Eve, right? They got drunk. They transgressed by wine. Meaning, but they were drunken. They were made drunken by that fucking serpent. Okay? And then they went the fuck off. That's why the scriptures say they were naked before the Lord. Well, it's an old saying that says if you shame if you shame or something, you shouldn't be doing it. Meaning you shouldn't be hiding something. If you know you're not doing nothing wrong, you shouldn't be hiding it, or you shouldn't be ashamed of it. That's what it was. That's spiritually what was going on. It wasn't like you had two naked motherfuckers. They had a chariot flying through the earth. And then they're like, oh shit, baby, get you some weed, cover your pussy up. Oh shit, oh no. And the Lord gonna see me, but nah, come on, get the fuck out of here, man. The Lord like, hold on, what the fuck, you ain't did nothing wrong, son. What the fuck you trying to hide? Well, who the fuck told you? Wait, hold on, wait.
What's going on? Lord already knows.
You know what I'm saying? And Adam was a righteous man, he just fucked up. Righteous men fuck up. Adam was a righteous man because you know how he was a righteous man to prove that he was a righteous man, because when the Lord asked him, he didn't lie to the Lord. Okay? He didn't lie to the Lord, man. He told the Lord, look, Lord, such happened, yada, yada, yada. And the Lord say, well, look, son, ain't that the same thing when he happened with us? Real quick. Hold on. Stay right there. This is the same conversation between Adam and Yahweh Bashim. Well, I say between Adam and Yahweh, right? Or between Adam and the Lord, right? That he had further along in the future with his nation of people. Watch this up. Deuteronomy 20:15. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Lord don't change. It's
change, man. It's the same thing over and over.
Yeah. And the Lord give you something, and he don't want to hear that word, but Lord, well, see what happened was, yeah, look, son. Look, we made an agreement, and you broke it. I'm bound by my words. Ain't no such thing as well. You know what, Adam? You right. I should have made it a little bit. Nah. That goes to show you, man. The Lord is bound by His word. Look, I told you the terms of this, and you went against him. I don't want to hear about what Eve said and what she did. I told you, son. Okay, but anyway, Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, but I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. That's the same conversation the Lord had with Adam.
Literally with God, same thing, bro.
You know? And what was that conversation? Man, look, don't deal with this nation. Them people over there, they cool, you know what I'm saying? And the Lord over there, but them motherfuckers over there, look, don't offer your sons, your daughters, no nothing, don't have nothing to do with them motherfuckers over there. You know, because the Lord basically, we're going to show you, even in the beginning, you had a particular wicked nation. You can say that. It was in Adam. Oh, that's I gotta go back to that for right now. Yeah, I gotta go back to that so I can land it in. Second. All right. All right. The second Ezra, chapter 4, just to finish all while I was there. Second Ezra 4 and 30, it says, "For the grain of evil seed have been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning." So from the beginning, the Lord used the serpent, or this particular group of people, which are the precursor of the Edomites today. Okay. The Lord used this group of people to sow that to get Adam drunk. Okay, that's how the Lord, that's the avenue the Lord used to sow that wickedness in them. And we're going way back in the beginning, so that proves that way back in the beginning, it wasn't just everybody just good.
Obviously not.
Everybody meditating and all that type of shit. You had a whole bunch of shit going on and stuff like that. It wasn't to the extent that it is today. You know what I'm saying? Nowhere near the extent that it was. It was on a whole other level than what it is today. But never the fact, we failed, man. Adam failed. Adam was put on the earth to be a fucking god, man. To basically to rule the earth. And this particular Adam, the Yahushua, that particular Adam, not the Adamites, because a lot of times when you say Adam, you could be talking about the Adamites as multiple people that was on the earth at that time, man and woman, or you could be talking about when you get back when the story actually centers on the actual man Adam, who we know as Yahushua. Okay, and that particular man or whatever, when it goes into the particular story about when sin came into the world and so on and so forth and so on and so forth like that, that's where the story picks up. That's why the scripture says death reigned in the earth from Adam till the time of Moses, man, or whatever like that. But go ahead, All right.
So Genesis.
Let me finish. It says, "For the grain of evil seed have been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning, and how much ungodliness have it brought up into this time, and how much shall it yet bring forth into the time of the threshing come?" You know what I'm saying? So we're going back into the genesis of this wicked particular nation, or this wicked vessel. I'll just say this left-hand vessel tempting Adam and being successful, man. But it was all a part of Yahushua's master plan. Okay, go ahead.
Genesis 3:3, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden.
Yeah, that wine. Go ahead.
Elohim has said, "Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die."
Yeah, they got an old saying that says, "When life hands you lemons, you make what? Lemonade." So when you fast forward that, when you're dealing with a wicked tree on a symbolic level, hey man, I don't want none of that bad. That shit sour, that shit poison, that shit bitter. That shit gonna kill me, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm good, you know. But the fact that at this particular time, we had never failed. At this particular time, we had never
tasted that bitter.
Been in slavery to a lesser nation. Been in adversity with Yahweh. We didn't know none of it. We didn't know what none of this felt like.
No illusion was.
You see what I'm saying? So that was the Lord teaching us. Okay, this is what happens when you go against my commandments. Okay, this is what happens when you give heed to these seducing spirits. This is what happens when you allow these fucking ravening wolves to get you drunken. Okay? That's the lesson that the Lord is teaching to his elect men, to his nation. When I tell you I'm married to you, I mean it. When I tell you I'm a jealous Paul, I mean that. I don't want you serve. I don't even want you looking at another fucking heathen. That's the kind of love the Lord possesses over his people. You know what I'm saying? Hey, how would you feel if you see your old lady all drooling off the mouth behind another fucking nigga? Well, that's how the Lord feels when y'all going the fuck off, falling after these heathen customs, man. Okay? Go ahead, man.
Right, and it says, for the Elohim doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as the Elohim.
Now, don't this sound like some shit Esau tell you, man?
Be just like God.
Skip to the time and hold it down and skip up to, hold on. Okay, get the piece of hold what you got, brother, and get excuse me. Okay. Oh, what you got? Read that one more time.
All right, it's Genesis 3 and 6, 3 and 5, and it says, for the Elohim doth know that in the day ye eat thereof.
Now this is the precursor of Esau. Okay, he wasn't called Esau at the time because Esau wasn't born. But you got to remember, Esau is still a spirit. Okay, that spirit when Isaac and Rebekah had Jacob and Esau, those were old ancient spirits being reincarnated again. Okay, in a form of Esau and Jacob. So those spirits been on this earth time and time and time prior to them even being called Israel and Esau.
Cain and Abel, that was Esau and Jacob right there.
Okay, exactly. Go ahead.
It says, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as the Elohim.
So this is the same thing that the so-called white man does today. That's why he's called the deceiver. Well, he comes speaking what? Smooth. But what's in his heart? War. This motherfucker wanted everything Adam had. He wasn't trying to look out for no fucking Adam and Eve. That sounds just like Esau when he come tell you Negroes to take the juice. That's the same thing he gonna say when he tell you to take the charisma. You take this, you're gonna have God-like powers.
Yeah, real talk. You're never gonna get sick again.
You're never gonna get sick.
I'll tell you all type of shit, bro.
You're never gonna be able to get 19 again. You're gonna be able to live longer.
Full of shit. God, man.
You're gonna be able to be smarter.
Get that
the Neuralink, all of that bullshit, lies, man. That's why he was called the serpent, because this motherfucker was lying. These are lies he's saying. These are all fucking lies. Okay? Go ahead, Doc.
The exact opposite happened. I say that one Psalm. I say he asked God, you should fall as a friend. The exact opposite happened. Right? It says, and ye shall be as the Elohim, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food.
So, and like the brother say, y'all see the deception in that? Esau, the precursor of Esau, is telling Adam, telling Eve at this particular time, the complete opposite of what the Lord telling us. Says that ye are gods, but ye shall die as the what?
Like men, die like the
sons of men. Why? Because we go off. So Satan is literally saying the opposite.
Literally, you're gonna go straight up.
I mean, even though we know this is a nation of people, we'll just say the pre-Edomites. We'll just call them that. So pre-Edomites, man. These were the pre-Edomites. Okay? So let me bring this out. This is Matthew chapter 4, I'm going to start at 8. Again, the devil taketh Yahushua up into an exceeding high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. And which shows that there was a chariot. Think about it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Literally everything. All the kingdoms of the world.
Yeah, literally.
Literal.
Literally. So that was some high-tech shit going on, man. For you to be taken to see all the kingdoms of the earth or like that. But anyway, it says again, the devil taking him up into an exceeding high mountain and showing him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. So that means literally different kingdoms in different parts of the world, literally before him. Okay? That's left hand spiritual power. Okay? In high places. Anyway, it says, and the glory of them, and said unto him, all these things sound, that voice sound familiar, don't it? That interesting sounds familiar, don't it? And said unto him, all these things will I give thee. Basically, I'll make you God. If thou wilt fall down and worship me. That's exactly what the serpent was doing to Adam and Eve in the garden. I'm going to give you all this deep knowledge. Just listen, just follow me. Just basically listen to what I'm saying. And you niggas became enslaved like that.
It's just that quick. Turn you to the slave.
Adam was basically at one with the Elohim at that time. Just imagine if Adam wanted to get in the chariot, he had first class access to the chariot. Now it was no such thing as the Stone Age cavemen. That's a fabrication of Edomite bullshit, man. Adam them started off intelligent. They started off advanced, and they declined. You go in the book of, I think, what I want to say was that second element, it says we are lesser in stature. It's not just lesser in height and size, but lesser in intelligence, man. You got shit that they were building back then and designing structures and shit back then that the best of you can't even do today, man. You know? But Adam literally had God-like power at this time, man. Living almost 1,000 fucking years, man. And prior to this happening, they had access to these chariots, because after this happened, what happened? The Lord set them chariots up to cast their ass out.
Bro, you trying to fly into the air, he beating you down, right?
So that means prior to that, they was at one with these chariots. You know what I mean? So imagine if they still possess the power to go in and out, you know, of the earth or whatever with these chariots, but take that demonic ass knowledge that Satan tried to give to them, man. That left hand shit. You see what I'm saying? That was basically Satan trying to get in on what the Lord got us. That blessing way back in the beginning. Satan saw that blessing that Adam had. Satan wanted that shit. Just like he wanted now.
That's what we trying to do right now.
Just like Cain was jealous of Abel. You know what I'm saying?
Before he had to kill him, bro. That
motherfucker was jealous of Adam, man. And Adam fell for it. Okay, go ahead.
Real quick one. It's 2 Esdras 6:54. And it says, and after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures.
And there we go, man. That would have been the title of the sons of God forever, man. Had they never failed and succumbed to their wine, man. But that's not the way the story is written. When you open the 1611 King James Version Bible, what happens? Adam failed. And he gets built back up. And then he overcomes. That's the way the story is supposed to go. That's the way it's going to happen, man. Okay? Yeah, it
says, of him come we all, and that's literal right there. He's literally the Lord of all creatures, right? And the people also whom thou hast chosen, right? That's the elect. They're elect at that time, man. Right? They're the elect out of the Adamites, right? It says, all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. Right? And that's literal right there. We're literally supposed to be the sons of God. We're supposed to be over everything forever. Right? And the scripture said, if iniquity was not found in him, we would have continued. We would have basically been immortal now. Right? But we took that bait, which was already scripted, already written. Right? We took that bait, now look in the situation we're in. Right?
What that boy say? We pay for scraps. So put Adam in the Hollywood box office. Free safety. We pay cash for scraps. Man, Jake be doing all kind of shit, man.
Been running clear up.
Keep my eye.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's back in Genesis. Right? It's Genesis 3:6. Right? And it says, and when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, that it was pleasant to the eyes.
Oh, let me hold on. Hold on. Hey. And guess what? That's why Israel is in the predicament that they're in right now, man.
Yeah.
Because the Lord, his food wasn't good enough. His laws wasn't good enough. Okay? The power that the Lord gave us, you weren't satisfied with it. You didn't want to rule. You wanted to be co-equal. So the Lord said, fuck that. I'm going to make you their slaves. Yeah.
Right? And it says that it was pleasant to the eyes and a tree to be desired to make one wise.
And that's why you were drunken by it, man. And that's how Eve was drunken. She was deceived. The shit sound good. She had itching ears. And that seducing spirit got her fucking ass, man. It got that spot, that example I was using. You know? It caught that itch and she bought it. Oh. He hit the spot. He bit her. She was poisoned. And she took that poison and she poisoned Adam with the same shit, man. Because guess what? Go to show you that that devil was doing his homework. He knew how to get to Adam.
Strategic right there.
That was strategy. Yeah. That's why the scripture says he was more subtle than any other beast of the field.
Good being wicked.
Hey, he was more advanced. But on the left-hand side, just like today, when you look at this same entity, only difference is he called himself Esau today. He's still the most subtle beast of the field. That's why the scripture tells us to be ye wise as serpents, but yet harmless as doves. We at war against a fucking serpent. So you gotta be one. You gotta be wise as one. In order to war with one of them bitches.
You got some saying like that. I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay. Think like the enemy or something. Yeah. You gotta be able to think on that level like that. So
that's right.
That's how you know his next move.
If you're trying to play fair in a crooked system, you're gonna get fucked over.
Crunch, right?
You gotta learn skill. Motherfuckers come at you crookedly, you gotta know how to. Yeah. Bitch, I got you too. Yeah.
Cut you on, Rich.
Hey. Make your forehead hard against theirs, man. Not just open your ass for them to just come and do what they want to do with it. Fuck that. Go ahead, right?
It says she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her.
And they both ate. They were both drunken. They both believed that bullshit. And the Lord was in the heaven looking at the whole thing.
Yeah, he's spectating all of them.
Shit. I told you. That's what I told you. Damn, Lord. Damn, right. How do you do that, Lord? Hey, because I'm the Lord.
It says, and he did eat, and the eyes of both of them were open, and they knew that they were naked.
Right.
And they sued.
Meaning they realized that they fucked up, man.
God.
That's when they mean their eyes open up. They knew they fucked up. They were like, oh shit, we fucked up. We did some shit that we was not supposed to do. And guess what happened? Lord came through on their chariot. Keep going.
And it says that they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of the Elohim walking in the garden in the cool of the day.
Yeah, man. And that's how you know that the angels, was frequently with us at that time, man. There's a reason. This is why they had to separate themselves from us, because of this event right here. And prior to this, it was a regular thing to see that chariots and the angels. We didn't have to make vehicles. Hey, Gabriel, man, look, take me over to the Antarctica, man. They got some gold over there. Man, hey, come on.
Get that damn over there.
Hey, man, I say, bro, I'm out here looking at the moon every day, man. It's a beautiful. Hey, man, Gabriel, man, take me up there. Let me go check that out.
Put some shit up there.
There was nothing at that time. You know what I'm saying? But when the Lord cast our ass out, hey.
And it fell away, bro.
You fell. You lost all those privileges. Okay? You lost all those privileges. You did what I told you not to do. So now, if I don't punish your ass, you're going to make me look bad. All right? Go ahead.
What we talking about? It's basically making full circle now. There's basically regular contact with the angels. And you read through the Gospels and shit, they basically having, it's more regular than it is right now. Right? They're getting broken out of prison by angels and shit like that. I was all about to hit it full circle, seeing them introduce themselves.
Again, they started coming right back into the picture.
Now everybody's about to be regular seeing them again.
Right, bro.
Right? It says, Genesis 3 and 8, and it says, and they heard the voice of the Elohim walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Elohim.
Yeah, man, they how you gonna hide from the Lord?
Yeah.
Right? But I mean, but just spiritually speaking, they knew they fucked up. Man. Okay, keep going now.
It says, amongst the trees of the garden.
Okay, and so, and guess what? Those other nations. All right, that's what exposed them right there. What does Israel do today? You hide yourself from Yahweh Yahushua amongst who? The other nations. How did you do that? By going the fuck off. By following after the customs of the fucking heathen. By opening your feet to your lovers. Okay? Go ahead, huh?
Right? It says, the Elohim called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid. So you already do it. You already do it, boy. You know what's going on, man. Even in our time, you know what's going on.
Nervous for man, you know what you did, bro.
The nerves, man. You can see it on Chick's face.
You ain't never came to me with no shit like this. And all of a sudden, nah, man, nah. I know exactly what happened. What Amos 9 and 8 say, the eyes of the Lord power are upon the simple kingdom, man. You're fucking right. The Lord saw everything, man. He scripted it.
He knew it, man.
He's the author of it. Man.
Because I was naked, I hid myself. And he said, who told thee that thou was naked?
Man. Because he was exposed, he was ashamed. You know? He was ashamed. Ashamed because he went off and transgresses the direct law that the Lord gave him, man. Okay, go ahead.
It says, and I hid myself, and he said, who told thee thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee?
That the Lord already knew that. That's why it says this tree was more subtle than what? The serpent was more subtle than any beast. But those beasts are the other trees. That serpent is that tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It's symbolism.
Metaphors.
Yeah,
it says in
144, baby.
144. It says, and a man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And the Elohim said,
so he blamed it on Eve.
Yeah.
Like, man, hey, Lord, man, she came talking all this shit about We could be like the Most High. We ain't gonna have to check in. We gonna do this. We can do our own thing and all that. You know.
Trust me, that shit. It says, and the Elohim said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. Same thing today, man. You got beguiled, right? Our nation as a whole is represented by that woman. You didn't took the heat of everything he saw and told you. You just run with it. You don't even know why no more. They just do it off instinct. That's what he do. Right? It says, and the Elohim said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, well, that's where it makes it full circle. Right? Esau still getting his judgment from the shit that Eden did. He ain't like he got away scot-free. Okay? It says, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field.
Hey.
Right? So you literally a fucking cow walking on the earth right now. No, it's talking about the nations. Right? And it says, upon thy belly shalt thou go, and the dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
And that's slavery. Okay. Slavery, man. And that's talking about at this particular time you're in this little season where you're ruling. And the only reason you're there is because the Lord is cursing the people. Man. Okay. So
okay. All right. It's Mark 8:23. Right? About the blind man. Right? And it says that he took the blind man by the hand as a Yahusha and led him out of the town. And when he had spit upon his eyes and put his hands upon him, he asked if he saw aught. All right, so just put yourself in the position of that blind man, man. Metaphorically speaking. All right, you're supposed to be in the position of that blind man, but the boy about to open up our eyes to see. All right, and it said that he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. Okay, so he said he saw men as trees walking. They saw some other nation right there. All right, and it says, and after that, he put his hands again upon his eyes and made him look up, and he was restored and saw every man clearly. That's a metaphor right there. All right, so what was that garden? What was the trees, the cattle, the beasts of the field? Right? Right, all that shit was just the nation.
Right, man. It says Matthew 7:17. It says, "I'm shall speak. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit."
Right. So who was that good tree? All right, it's talking about the elect
people.
Yeah, it's talking about people.
They run to the shop. Those trees are people, man. Straight up. You know? And the fruit is basically the philosophy that they spew out, man. The fruit is the bullshit that you people buy into, man, whether it's lies or whether it's the truth. Okay? Scriptures tell you about y'all should be not what giving into too much wine.
Yeah, give them a strong
but into much wine. And that's not talking about literal. That's talking about lies, man. Vain opinions, philosophies, hypotheses, and all this old stupid ass shit the so-called white man try to use fear taxes against you Negroes and Latinos with, man. Try to do what? Herd you into his fucking trap. Go ahead.
It's that one year from the beginning. It's Isaiah 55 and 12, right? This is how it's going to all tie in. It says, "For ye shall go out with joy and be led forth with peace." Yeah. Right? It says, "The mountains and the hills shall break forth before you into singing."
So you telling me grass and mountains is going to literally be singing? Like, come on, man. The same ideology we gave y'all with the trees, it's the same thing that goes with the mountains and the hills. Mountains don't sing, hills don't dance, man. Come on. So what is it talking about? Groups of people. Go ahead, huh?
Instead of the thorn shall come up the fir tree, and instead of the briar shall come up the myrtle tree. And it shall be to the Lord for a name, for an everlasting sign that shall not be cut off. Right? Talking about, hey, making our way around. We lost our kingdom first to Esau, but we're about to get it back. right? Then he gonna be the one in slavery. We're gonna be the one getting the blessings, right? It's Isaiah 61:3, right? It says, that's not from verse 2. Right? It says to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord in a day of vengeance of our power. Right? And where's that vengeance from? The shit that happened all the way at the beginning. We really recompenses all the way from shit that happened in the beginning. That first deception that came. Right? Because at the end of the day, yeah, it came from that serpent. Right? It says to comfort all that mourn, to appoint them that mourn in Zion, to give them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called the trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that he might be glorified. Right? So we're coming back into that time where we're about to be the trees of righteousness. Right? We're about to be planted and nothing gonna be, I think that's somewhere in second.
I got one for you.
Planted and nothing gonna be able to uproot this rough paraphrase.
Right.
Okay.
All right, it's Joel, we said on this, Joel 2:21. It says, fear not, O land, be glad and rejoice, for Yahweh will do great things. Be not afraid, ye beasts of the field.
Right, who the beasts of the field he's talking about? He's talking about just the elect, man, because he sees us as creatures. Like I said, earnest expectation of the creature, waited for the manifestation of the sons of Yahweh, man. Right, so we waiting to be exalted again, man, and that's about to happen. Right?
It says, for the pastures of the wilderness do spring, for the tree beareth her fruit, meaning what? Israel is waking up.
Big tree block kind of,
okay? Seeing camps sprout up all over the world, man, from all 12 tribes, okay? So it says, be glad then, Salaki. It says, be not afraid, ye beasts of the field, for the pastures of the wilderness do spring, for the tree beareth her fruit. The fig tree and the vine do yield their strength. Be glad then, ye children of Zion, and rejoice in Yahweh your power.
But you know what that fig tree is? Matthew the 24th chapter right there. Like we're seeing this blossoming again and becoming tender right now. All right, because all these prophecies taking place. Like I say, you see the camp popping up. We're making our way full circle. All right, first we were that tree that was that example. When Yahweh just withered that tree. We were that tree. It was that easy for him to send the so-called white man at us, and we withered just that quick. That was the curses coming upon us. Right, but now he got us blossoming again. Right, got that.
Right. It says 23. It says, be glad then, ye children of Zion, and rejoice in Yahweh your power, for he have given you the former rain moderately.
Former rain.
Right, now, in the past, been moderately. And he will cause to come down for you the rain, the former rain, and the latter rain in the first one. And the floor shall be full of wheat, and the vat shall overflow with wine and oil. And I will restore to you the years that the locusts have eaten. So that means all these years of slavery and oppression, I can the Lord gonna make up for all the motherfuckers. You know, all that what would have happened, woulda, coulda, shoulda, if you never would have went to slavery, all that shit gonna be answered. Right?
You got that. So this is an edifying lesson. Anybody give infinite honor and praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahshua, Hashem, Harakatash. Dumb honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, rule and teach well. Peace and blessings to the faithful elect across the four corners, living and preaching the truth to the best of their ability and sincerity. Shalom, Shalom, Baba Ball, Baba Ball, Yahshua.
Yahshua, Yom.